Anybody out there that wants to speak during the public forum, if you have not filled one of these out, go ahead and fill them out. And that also pertains to the public hearing tonight for the two items. If anybody wants to speak on those, they need to fill out one of these forms so we get your name and everything correct. So, all right. It is 6 p.m., August 5th, 2025, calling this regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission to order. First order is Pledge of Allegiance. Start with the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honoring the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay. All right. We'll move on to the public forum. Does anybody want to speak now or on when the item comes up? I guess we have a Stephen Poro. No? No? Where's he at? Stephen? Did you want to speak now or during the, okay.
My name is Mike Newman. I live at 708 Carroll Street. HW is my given name. Mike's my name. My mother called me, so that's what I use. I'm here about item 11. My neighbor proposes to build a 35 by 45 building on a long property line. My only concern is that we are in a historical district, and there is an ordinance for that, and they comply with that as far as visibility from the street, and not being a incumbents to people that have the historical homes, of which I have one. But that's all I have to say. Let you all do your job. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have any questions?
No, we can't. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to the next items are for the commission here are consent agendas. We'd like to take them, speed things up. We'd like to take all three together if we can, or if we can take them individually. I'll read the three and then we can decide. Item number 3, consideration and possible action on the P&Z regular meeting minutes of July 1st, 2025. Item 4, consideration and possible action to cancel the second public hearing before the Planning and Zoning Commission regarding the rezoning related to the 58.925 acre tract, one located in the Zachariah Landrum Survey, Abstract 22, submitted by the Lone Star Cowboy Church, DEV number 2407. And item 5, consideration of possible action to cancel the second public hearing before the Planning and Zoning Commission regarding the rezoning request related to 12.15 acres of the tract at 2G John Connor Survey, Abstract 8, submitted by PCS Capital LLC, DEV number 2415.
I make a motion that we approve all the items, and it's approving the cancellation for the 2 second public hearings.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve all three items, the general meeting minutes, and also the cancellation of the 2 public hearings. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The majority passes. Okay, right now, I need to adjourn the regular meeting at 6:05 p.m. and go into public hearing. These are two.
You're gonna do them one by one?
Yeah, one by one. The P&Z Commission will receive comments from the public on the below list of items. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each. Persons wishing to participate speak during the public hearing portion of the meeting. We don't, I don't think we have any, but they needed to sign in prior to speaking. Item number 6. Convene into public hearing on the preliminary report for rezoning requests submitted by Lone Star Cowboy Church, DEV number 2407, related to 58.952 acre tract located in the Zachariah Landrum Survey Abstract 22, currently zoned within a mix of R1 single family residential and B commercial and I industrial.
Institutional.
I mean institutional, okay. No discussion? Okay. We will then move on to we will close item number 6 and move on to item 7. Convene into public hearing on the preliminary report for rezoning requests submitted by BCS Capital LLC, DEV number 2415, related to the 12.15 acres of Tract 2G John Connor Survey Abstract 8, currently zoned PH Planned Development and C Commercial. Any comments? Okay. We will close item number 7. It is now 6:07. We will leave the public hearing portion and return to the general agenda for tonight. Item number 8, consideration possible action on the preliminary report for rezoning requests submitted by Lone Star Cowboy Church, DEV number 2407, related to the 58.952 acre tract located in the Zachariah Landrum Survey, Abstract 22, currently zoned within the mix of R1 single family, residential, commercial, and I institutional.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Zachary Simmons. I work with WGA as a city engineer. And this item in front of you all is a request for rezoning for the aforementioned Lone Star Cowboy Church. If you remember, last month's P&Z agenda, we discussed this item. As stated, this just papers up the rezoning application for our development for Lone Star Cowboy Church. As previously mentioned, it is currently zoned commercial, institutional, and residential. If you look on page 26 of your packet, you will see the current zone layout for the development. If you look on the following page, page 27, you'll see the requested rezone configuration, with the majority of the property being zoned institutional and a portion of the property remaining commercial. That is a portion along the frontage adjacent to State Highway 105. The proposed improvements are all located within the area that is zoned or is being proposed to be rezoned as institutional. The church is proposing a new building and additional parking for said building. So what this rezoning allows us to do is essentially paper up their development. We're currently working with them on a development plat, again, to kind of outline what is zoned as to what, and existing features on the site, as well as their civil plans that show what's being proposed within the site. And so this allows us to review against one set of regulations for their zoning, as well as preparing up their development plan, so we can have that on file. Any questions for me?
We kind of went through last month. I think it's pretty straightforward, so I'll make a motion that we recommend approval. Let me get back to the recommend approval of the preliminary report. Recommend approval for the rezoning request submitted by Lone Star Cowboy Church Development Number 2407 related to the 58.952 acre tract 1 located in the Zacharias Land Jump Survey, Abstract 22, currently zoned within a mix of R1 single-family residential, B commercial, and I institutional, to I institutional and B commercial.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the rezoning of the area for the Lone Star Cowboy Church, development number 2407. That's the word it goes. Zone commission, institutional. I lost my spot here, sorry. So we're supposed, it's all going to in institutional, correct?
A combination of
A combination of
institutional
the
and
three.
commercial.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion passes. Item number 9, consideration and possible action on a preliminary report for rezoning request submitted by BCS Capital LLC, development number 2415, related to the 12.15 acre tract of 2G John Connor Survey, Abstract 8, currently zoned planned development and C commercial.
Hello again. Very similar to the last item, this is a rezoning application for a proposed multifamily development that's going on in the city. This is for the property that is located at the essentially the intersections of C.B. Stewart, Buffalo Springs, and the intersection of 2 on 105. This is for the portion on the northern side of that property. So if you look on pages 34 and 35 of your packet, you'll see the existing and proposed development zoning layouts. I've handed out a exhibit in front of y'all that shows a small change to that proposed layout. Essentially what the developer is wanting is to decrease the amount of multifamily from what was previously proposed as 12 acres to approximately 11 acres. So cutting off an acre of multifamily and moving that back to commercial. This doesn't do anything as far as the notification requirements. It honestly shrinks who would have to be notified in the event of a rezoning. So nothing as far as a legal standpoint is impacted by this change. We have confirmed that with y'all's legal attorney, and they are on in agreement as to what is being required for this. Now, what is currently zoned is planned development. Planned development does with the planned development agreement that you have with the property owner, previous property owner, did allow for multifamily within this area, but there is a portion that is, again, commercial, which isn't allowed for multifamily. And so what this rezoning does is, again, paper it up to allow us to review against one set of regulations for zoning for their multifamily component.
What's the water usage delta from commercial to multifamily?
So we have
Projected.
So we have, and this is in a later item on the BCS amendment feasibility, we have the projected usages in that agreement or study.
Just like, I'm just curious.
The rule of thumb that we would use without any, sorry, I almost got rule of thumb that we use without having any details on the tract would be the difference between 3,000 gallons and 5,000 gallons a acre. So 2,000 gallon delta, more on the multifamily side
Multifamily, okay.
than on the commercial use. But in this case, you know, given we have an overall site plan, so in the
You're able to
item,
dial it in,
we're able
yeah.
to dial it in.
questions from me? Any more, Chris?
No, not on my part. Give me a sec. I make a motion that we recommend approval for the rezoning request submitted by BCS Capital LLC, development number 2415, related to the 12.15 acres of the tract 2G John Corner Survey, Abstract A, currently zoned PD Plan Development and C Commercial to C Commercial and multifamily.
R2.
R2. Yes.
If I can,
Mhm.
one correction, the acreage is what's in front of you on the paper, so it's the
11084.
So the initial
Okay.
request was for the 12, but what the recommendation is just approving the 11.084 that's in front of you, the revised, reduced size.
Okay. Do you need me to read? I can reset. I'll reset it.
Yes, please do.
Yep. That motion dies. Is that a second?
Yes, that's correct.
I'll make a motion that we approve, that we recommend approval for the rezoning request submitted by BCS Capital LLC, development number 2415, related to the 11.8084 acres of the tract 2G John Corner Survey, Abstract 8, currently zoned PD Plan Development and C Commercial to multifamily.
I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the final report and pass on to City Council for the preliminary report of the rezoning submitted by BCS Capital LLC, development number 2415, related to the 11.084 acres of tract 2G John Connor Survey, abstract, currently zoned PD, Plan Development, and C Commercial to multifamily. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item number 10, consideration of possible action regarding a request for special use permit for a restaurant with drive-through service, legal description, 31.97 acre tract of land situated in the J. Connor Survey, abstract number 8 of Montgomery County, Texas.
Good evening, Commission members. This is in reference to the new H-E-B grocery store that's off of 2854 and Highway 105 or Eva Street. It is zoned to be commercial, and as you know, a grocery store and a restaurant are approved or permitted uses in the commercial zoning district. And again, we're back to the idea of the drive-through service, which is an accessory use to the restaurant. The restaurant's going to be located in the main H-E-B building, so it isn't a separate building to the main building. But they are going to have a drive-through service for that restaurant. So we're going through this as an accessory use. And when you start looking at the effects on the comprehensive plan and the character and development of the neighborhood, you'll take a look at the plan that's on page 43. You'll see where the drive-through is located. So it's far from Highway 105 or 2854, any type of stacking, any type of pedestrians walking in the area. They place the parking, and it looks like it looks fairly safe on the plans as they're proposing for the location of the drive-through. So I would recommend approval because they would meet those requirements on the findings.
I know they have to work with TxDOT. Have they provided any, I guess, feedback on the traffic impact, anything like that? I know it's mentioned in the item, but I'm just curious on what feedback we've heard on that.
Yes, so they have submitted to TxDOT traffic impact analysis and received no objection from TxDOT with their proposed improvements. So they're adding turn lanes off of 105 and 2854
Okay.
for entry to this site.
Okay.
I didn't, question, I didn't see the plan. Does HEB also have a pharmacy? Will that be a drive-through as well? And where would that be in relation?
Actually, we asked about that, and the pharmacy, they're delivering it out, like the groceries. It gets delivered out to their vehicle, not at a drive-through.
Like pickup, curbside
Yes,
pickup.
yes.
Interesting. Different. This seems much safer than what we've looked at in the past with similar special use permits with similar topics. So with that being said, and I do believe it fits our future plans and it fits the desire for growth inside of Montgomery, I make a motion that we recommend approval to the City Council for the request of a special use permit for a restaurant with accessory drive-through service located at the proposed new HEB grocery store.
A motion?
Second.
A motion and a second for the approval of the special use permit for the restaurant drive-through at the new HEB store. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Item number 11, consideration and possible action on proposed to construct a new accessory structure 30 by 45 foot in the rear yard of the property located at 706 Caroline Street.
This is a property located at 706 Caroline Street. It is located in the residential zoning district and the historic preservation district. The property owner is in the audience here, available for you if you have any questions. He's proposing to construct a new 30 by 45 accessory structure in the rear yard. If you look at the site plan, it isn't actually drawn to scale, but he is proposing 10-foot side yard setback and a 10-foot rear yard setback. Currently, there is an existing smaller shed back there. I think it's 10 by 10, and he'll just relocate that and put this 30 by 45 structure in its place. I went through the findings regarding the building placement. It is going to be located in the rear yard, in the interior side yard. For the form and treatment, the walls and the roofing material, this is where we kind of come up with the issue that it is a metal building. According to our historic guidelines, a metal building is actually can be approved as long as it's completely screened from view from any abutting street or private property. So the metal structure itself, isn't prohibited, but because of its view from the neighboring properties of the street. You'll see that I took pictures of the location there. The neighboring property with the white picket fence would be able to see it. The white picket fence is about 4 feet. And then from the street in the front, you would be able to see it. But it is set back pretty far back, probably about 100 feet from the actual street there. So as it is right now, actually today, I received an approach from the property owner, a color sample of the structure. And that paint color isn't actual paint that he'll paint on there. The metal building will actually come that way and be constructed that way.
Have you sent out a neighborhood letter to the surrounding neighbors?
It isn't required.
What's that, John? John?
Is the nearby neighbors notified?
Is this building much taller than the car? I know the other one's smaller footprint, but is it just the same height?
No, it will actually be 13 feet. So even with a 6-foot high wood fence, you would still see a portion of that building. And you see all the elevations that I included there. The color of the building, if you look at the photos of the existing single-family dwelling, looks very similar to the color of the single-family dwelling. And he is proposing a similar color of the roof for the accessory structure. Same roof color as the residential structure.
On the drawings, what type of a metal panel is this? Is it an R panel, a U panel, what type? It looks,
Just an R panel. Yeah, it's an R panel building, and it's a sheet panel.
yeah, the representation on the, looked more like a,
It's
more-
ribbed.
yeah, it's ribbed, yeah.
Like a lane plumbing, no electrical in the building. Plain Jane structure. It's a wooden structure. And the metal cladding on it. And it'll allow me to clean up the backyard and get trailers inside.
Would you consider wooden siding like your house? That'd be much easier to prove and it would fit much more historical nature of downtown.
Well, I had a Shane contractor, he doesn't do wood siding. But, I mean, it's not the,
I mean, the structural part of it is wood, correct? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know, my feeling about being right in town, right in the middle of the historical district is the metal panel building.
it's very far in the back of the building, and you really have to look to see it in the back of the property.
I'm just concerned about their,
The property's 207 foot deep. So,
It's virtually right in the middle of the historic district.
yeah.
You got historic houses behind it, in front of it, beside it.
but I'm not in historical house.
But you're
But
still
you
in
Yeah,
the
are-
historical
district.
district. Yeah. And that's my concern is the two back neighbors are going to be right up against
Back and the
that.
side.
Because they already have structure back there. Well, one of them does. It's just basically a tried-in structure so I can get my equipment, trailers, and vehicles inside.
But the problem, we do have to go by the historical guidelines of that historical downtown area.
So you're saying basically a wooden clad exterior,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I think that would fit.
with a metal roof?
Well, I would try to match your home as close as possible and get down to a picture of
Color-wise,
that. Color-wise, you're pretty close. I don't know what that's saying.
Yeah.
Color-wise, it's close.
Right.
I like the color. I'm not opposed to that.
yeah,
It's more the
really
siding.
close to the shape of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to metal roof if you could try to get to close to the same color of your shingles. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know metal roof.
I know
Yes, sir.
we've approved the white metal panels in the historical because it's so low slope, it's really not that noticeable.
Yeah, Mike.
Yep. Yes. If you don't mind stepping
If I
in.
may, the neighbor behind us, behind him, on the north side, does have a metal roof on his historical home.
Okay.
So if they were in compliance with that type of metal home, probably fit your guidelines.
Mhm.
Yep. I don't think there's anything in there about the roof. It's more the siding, correct?
Yes.
And so that's more, I think, where we really need to dial in is some sort of wood siding, ideally similar to what you have on your home. And I think that'd be an improvement to downtown the historical district.
Can he do vertical laps,
Batten.
like pictured in the picture, sort of like that? 'Cause like your house has probably got the old shiplap on it,
Mm-hmm.
which if they.
Yeah, I think any wood siding would look, in my opinion, any wood
Yeah.
siding would look historical nature.
So,
I think any wood siding would look historical nature, would fit the historical nature and fit the guidelines.
would it have to be painted also?
Yes.
But your metal, the white panel, or the white color, our panel roof would be fine, because we have approved that in the past.
So far back in the back, I don't think it'd be a max.
Well, the problem is, we do one way far in the back, then we gotta do another way far in the back, and we're up closer, so it's, we're kinda,
Or one tree falls down and it's visible from the street.
yeah, so.
Yes, Mike.
One of the comments, I don't want to shoot his project down. I do want to fit in with the neighborhood and so. But I do have hardy siding on my garage, behind my historical home. It blends in real well, and it's, can be shiplap.
I think there's,
But it was built before the historical
Right.
ordinance was passed.
Right, no, any of the hardy sidings, because we have approved that on some of the newer
Yeah.
homes being
And you did
built.
on the church too, the Methodist
Correct.
church we worked on. So,
Correct, correct,
If you chose that, it would be a lot longer lasting and better painting.
right, yeah,
I don't think.
yeah.
It was just to clarify, then, are you asking them to come back to PMC with a plan that shows?
Yeah, I guess I'll
Wood
find
siding?
another contract,
yes.
because they don't do wood siding. Yeah.
And then just clarifying with the approval of the metal roof, because we've done it in the past, could have been an exception, or is that something that is allowed? To find out, I don't know the answer right now. But
We can find out.
yeah,
Can we find out more on the roof
Yeah.
guidelines?
Yes.
Prior, whenever it comes back. So I'll make a motion just to clear it up. So I'll make a motion that we decline as submitted, the request for the accessory structure, but we request revised drawings showing siding that fits more the historical nature of the historical district, specifically wood siding painted to match your home as close as possible.
So we're going to just kind of table this and have him come back with
So my
new,
recommendation would be to not do that
Not
motion,
do-
but to do just take no action so he can
Okay.
make his
Yeah.
revisions and come back, because if you make the recommendation to deny, then it goes to council for recommendation to deny.
Okay.
And you're not finished with this
Nope.
phase of it, so my recommendation would be
Just
to
leave it.
take no action, so you have
Perfect.
an opportunity to come back.
This
Perfect.
one, oh,
This one
No,
doesn't.
this one.
All right, well, what do we decide?
okay, right. Do we, just no action, or,
If you want a second, we can go that route.
okay. We got a motion to
no action.
for no action?
Yeah, I'm fine with no action.
Okay, we have a motion and
We'll
a
just go no action. then.
No action.
No action.
That's fine.
Okay, item number 12, consideration possible action by the Planning and Zoning Commission on the partial replat of Hills of Town Creek, Section 5, development number 2406.
Hello again, Commission. So this is a partial replat for the Hills of Town Creek subdivision. Just to kind of get you up to speed as to where this is, this property or development has already been platted back in November of 2024. And they've already begun construction on homes, completed construction on all of their This is a replat to essentially reconfigure lots 28 and 27, which are shown on page 61 of y'all's packets, to allow for a shared use access path between those two lots. And you will see the reconfigured lots 1 and 2 on page 62 of y'all's packet. Again, this essentially just outlines the reconfiguration of that to allow for that shared use path to a park playground that is in the back of those two lots, to allow for the community to access those from within the subdivision as opposed to walking around on Lone Star Parkway. A couple of notes. They do have variances on the subdivision. Existingly, back in December of 21, they had approved 5-yard setbacks and 120 lot depth with a minimum area of 5,500 square feet. And back in March of this year, March 2025, they requested a revision to their front yard line to be from 75 foot to 45 foot. The revised plat does adhere to all of these variances and is well within their minimum requirements for lot depth, area, and width.
I'll make a motion, this goes to council. So I'll make a motion that we recommend approval of the partial replat of the 4 Hills of Town Creek, Section 5, Division Number 2406, Development Number.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the partial replat. Hills of Town Creek, Section 5, Development Number 2406. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Okay, final item, consideration possible action and request to modify the regular scheduled Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m.
Don't
to,
we do 13?
Leave 13.
what I do?
Number
13, discussion. The feasibility study for BCS.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. Number 13, discussion on the utility and economic facility study amended for the BCS capital development project development number 2415.
Hello again. This is an amendment to the previously accepted feasibility study for the BCS capital development. It's located again between CV Stewart, Buffalo Springs, and 105. This amendment essentially takes their previously considered 32-acre development to 39 acres. They, as a developer, purchased the property that is on the hard front of CV Stewart and 105, essentially adding 6 acres to the property. This feasibility study just outlines the changes from the 32 acres to the now 39 acres. So I'll hit the high points. Looking at your water production, the previous study showed that they were approximately requesting 72,000 gallons per day. This has gone up to approximately 89,000 gallons per day. So a difference of about 17,000 between what was previously considered and what's being considered now. The sanitary sewer, in the same vein, is now currently considering 74,000 gallons, whereas it was considering 60,000 per day. So that equates to about $14,000 or 14,000 gallon difference. And if you, just to jump ahead to kind of show some of those projections, if you look on pages 78 and 79 of y'all's packet, you'll see our projections going out to 2030. These are updated essentially every time we get monthly tap reports from y'all's operator and whenever we get development within the city. And so we update these fairly regularly. You won't notice a large change from what was previously considered in your 32 acres because they just added 16,000 gallons and 17,000 gallons for their water and sewer demands. But you will notice, and it seems very startling, that our solid blue line is our capacity for both water and sewer, and the dashed lines are our different options as to what we believe is going to be coming within the next few years. So they essentially outline as your red dash are ready to connect. So essentially all developments that have executed development agreements, public infrastructure, and they're just waiting on connection from the developer. Your blue, which is your line B, is in design or construction with an agreement. So they haven't completed design or construction. They are in the process of doing so, but they're moving towards it. In design or in feasibility without an agreement. So essentially, all developments that are within our feasibility stage that don't have an executed development agreement in hand. ECS would be an example of that, which is where their numbers are currently going within this projection, this chart. The next one will be your anticipated in-city development. This is essentially just what we're looking at within city limits that don't have any assigned timing for development or use within the city. Everything was again within the city limits. So kind of going back to the report. Next high point would be your traffic. So with the addition of these 6 acres, they now have the entire frontage of 105 from again CV Stewart to Buffalo Springs. With this, we are requiring them as a developer to make improvements to Buffalo Springs, as well as fund a geotechnical analysis and TIA, traffic impact analysis, to determine what additional improvements are required to CV Stewart on the portion of the 6 acres that they're adjacent to, as well as the Buffalo Springs portion from essentially where Home Depot left off to that intersection of CV Stewart and Buffalo Springs. Next high point would be cost. So essentially, nothing has changed as far as what's being required of them from a limited utility side. The limited utilities, as outlined in your attachments on page 73 and 74, outline the required, 74 and 75 outline the required water and sanitary improvements. Water being along the frontage of along the frontage of 105 between CV Stewart and Buffalo Springs, an extension from where Home Depot left off, essentially at the northern boundary of their property, all the way up to Lone Star Parkway. This would close a water line loop to allow for better flow within the city, especially with some of these high energy users on this side of the city. We want to make sure that we're providing enough pressure in the event of fire or any type of high demand users. And then for the sanitary sewer portion, again, along 105 between CV Stewart and Buffalo Springs, closing that loop, eliminating lift station number 12. And the roadway improvements are outlined on page 73. This is a general conceptual look as to what may be requested by the TIA and geotechnical report. This is not concrete yet, for lack of a better word, as to what is required for their improvements. Additionally, in the packet, you will see on pages 71 and 72 a layout of what they're proposing for their entire 39 acres. On page 71, you will see the overall development, and on page 72, you will see their multifamily component. Again, these are their current layouts. They are subject to change, but the general consensus of what's being proposed is that it wouldn't affect our overall usages as what they're requesting for.
On the utility maps, I just want to make sure I understand it. So there's a few different colors there. The utilities that are outlined in green were already agreed to in the previous feasibility, not agreed to, but not amended. The ones in red and yellow, are those new or additional agreements?
So these outline essentially what's being required by separate parties. So the green outlines what's being required by BCS Capital. The red that you see along CD Stewart
Yep.
in front of the Church of Montgomery is what's being required by them as a part of their development, which again is a separate item. And then the portion in yellow is what's going to be done by the city, just again to kind of close that loop. We figured if we can get all this done in one project, it'd be cheaper on everybody. So if we can get it done, we would love to. That's how it's being outlined in the water. In the sanitary, my PDF is a little buggy right now, but all those sanitary options within that are being are going to be required by BCS Capital.
I guess what can be done to accelerate available supply on the water usage?
So we are actively in the works on a couple of different projects. Your water plant 2 improvements, which is adding a new well, which is rated for 500 GPM, is slated to be substantially complete at the end of this month. We're currently in design with a sub-consultant for your water plant 4 improvements project. That is again currently in design. This will be located on the west side of town, on Old Plantersville and Old Down Plantersville. And then we're also currently bidding water plant number 3 improvements, which adds for another booster pump at that facility. So we are aware of the constraints that we're currently working against, and we're actively working for those. As well as the sanitary sewer plant, we are currently in design for the Town Creek wastewater treatment plant expansion, which will take it from point 125 to point 3, and then an ultimate phase of point 6. And then we're also permitting for Stewart Creek, which is located on 105, to bring that up to add an ultimate phase of point 8.
So as far as speed,
Yes.
The plan agreements that have been on the plan for 10 years, the timing of those are all getting pushed up. So what council's currently going through is impact fee updates. So planning and zoning, you all heard that. We're going through that process to help with the funding of those improvements to expedite. And we're working with all of so you have one engineer firm is working on the wastewater plant, and an engineer firm on the water plant. We're working on some of the smaller improvements projects and working with all of them to expedite their timelines to get the delivery of these projects as soon as we can. But good thing is that with water plant 4 improvements, the permitting was already completed. So the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District permit, which typically is a holdup, requires a hydrogeologic analysis. That was completed and was obtained last year in anticipation. The wastewater permit for the plant that's under design, we received approval on that last month, so that permit is in place. That's been taking anywhere from 18 to 20 months, depending on the TCEQ's timeline. And then the next phase, so that permit counts for the part that's in design at the Stewart Concrete plant, as well as the next phase of that plant, which will double its capacity again. And then this will be the 3rd phase of expansion on the wastewater side. That's the permit that's in the works now. Okay. So a lot of things in the works. City administrators are very active in looking at grant opportunities and what is out there for funding, and just continual discussion. Because right now it's the funding, timing, development game.
Exactly.
And one thing that when we talked about the impact fees, that we've seen is a slight slowdown in home sales, so which hurts in terms of development and valuation, but from the timing of infrastructure, it slows things down. But it's tight. It is tight.
It's only going to get
projections are intended to be conservative.
Yep. Naturally.
Conservative is still scary.
I mean, yeah, some of these are beyond conservative.
Yeah.
Well, not beyond conservative, like we're beyond beyond the capabilities.
For sure.
Yeah, the wastewater treatment, I would say we're safe for the most part. It's just the water capacity.
And on the water side, one thing that's important about how these capacities are looked at is based off of an average day, which takes out a 2.4 time peaking factor. So from a actual production standpoint to a when that line is hit, that doesn't mean the plant is running 24 hours a day and can't keep up. That means the plant's running 10 hours a day. Again, not that we want to go there, we want to keep it at that average daily flow times. We're also talking about other emergency interconnects and things like that to help us in the event of, like we've been for the past years, this entire water plant out of service.
Perfect. I only have one other question. This is not related to utilities. On the road improvements, just out of curiosity, is the roundabout only pending the TIA, or is that planned no matter what? At CB Stewart and Buffalo Springs?
So it's more, it'll be intersection improvements at CB Stewart and Buffalo Springs. Final design of that, so the intent here is, as you know, soils out here are very.
Yes.
So when we took the initial, from the last set of bores, in order to do asphalt road, I think it was 6 inches stabilized, 11 inches of gravel, and then asphalt in order to be stable. So concrete is turning out to be cheaper. The whole point of this is we get the geotech analysis, get the recommendation on what is the most economical way. Same with the traffic impact analysis on what all improvements are needed, and then see how it fits in the overall scope. It's been a kind of on the city's lit idea that this is a roundabout. However, intersection improvements in general will be included. It'll get repaved. If it gets expanded out to a roundabout, let's see how kind of the full scope comes in.
Okay. That's all I had. No action on this one.
Okay.
Is there another question?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we can move on to number 14. Consideration possible action on the request to modify the regularly scheduled Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on Tuesday the 7th, October 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m.
Good evening again, Commissioners. The reason for this request is that staff is asking for this one-day change. It's typically National Night Out, but here in the city of Montgomery, it's Faith and Blue on October 7th. And I am an active participant in that event and during that event. So I was hoping to be able to delay the P&Z meeting by one day, moving it to Wednesday.
I know I can make
Hmm?
it. I know I
can make it.
Okay.
You good?
No problem.
Then I recommend, I'll make a motion that we recommend approval to reschedule the Tuesday, October 7th, 2025 meeting to Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And this is the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to reschedule the Planning and Zoning Committee meeting Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, 6 p.m. to Wednesday, October 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. All right. Anybody have any commission inquiries? Yeah. Anything for future agendas? Nope.
I do not.
All righty. I'll wait for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. It is 6:54. Planning and Zoning Commission meeting is adjourned.
I don't want to leave.